Hi everyone, the Lethbridge Bulls had victory within their grasp last night in Medicine Hat and then let it slip away. The first place Mavericks scored 2 runs in the bottom of the 9th inning and prevailed 2-1. The Mavs host Edmonton tonight. The last place Prospects were in Okotoks last evening and got hammered 20-4. To hockey, the Chicago Blackhawks and the Boston Bruins will battle it out starting tonight for Lord Stanley's Tin Can. This is a series that will see the NHL's best team, Chicago, taking on the team playing the best right now, Boston. And it looks like the Blackhawks will make some line changes heading into Game 1 tonight. Coach Joel Quenneville is contemplating splitting up Jonathan Toews and Patrick Kane. At practice yesterday, Toews was centering a line with Marian Hossa and Patrick Sharp. Kane skated with Michael Handzus and Brian Bickle.
You still have Toews, Sharp, and Hossa on one line. I think that's very, very powerful line.
With Kaner and Bix, it went well at the last 2 games of the series. Against LA, we played really well. We created a lot of chances. We could have had a few more goals maybe, and but I think individually we're all going to keep that confidence and carry that confidence into this next series against Boston.
There's times Johnny's line would go out. He'd play the full shift, and then myself, Handzus and Sharp would come out, and Suter would stay on for that shift too. So, but the thing with Chara is he's very big, very tall. He's got a long reach. I don't think we've really played anyone with his reach yet. So you got to be careful.
He's a guy that if you happen to get him one shift, he's going to come right back and play even harder. So he's a tough guy to play against.
Indeed, and Brandon Bollig will replace Victor Stahlberg in the Chicago lineup as well for Game 1. Face-off is at 6 o'clock. Game 3 of the NBA Finals was played last night in San Antonio, and in much the same way that Miami pounded the Spurs in Game 2, the opposite was true last night. San Antonio manhandled the Heat to take a 2-1 series lead. The Spurs held a mere 6-point lead at halftime and then erupted in the third quarter for 28 points and a 17-point lead. Then the Spurs opened the fourth quarter with 12 straight points to blow the game wide open. Danny Green led the way for San Antonio with 27 points as they set a record for three-pointers in a finals game with 16. 113-77 was the final score. Game 4 will be played Thursday in Texas. Well, the sun was shining today in Pennsylvania, and that got rid of a lot of the water on the Marion Golf Course, site of this year's U.S. Open. There is one Albertan in the field this year. Ryan Yip from Calgary got in at the last minute. Glenn Campbell has more.
Ryan Yip didn't find out he was playing in the U.S. Open until Monday. He made it in as an alternate, and so did Mike Weir. Rather fitting they played a practice round together at the Marion course this morning. And Yip says it was special to play with the former Masters champ.
As a golf aspect, absolutely. I mean, he's won the Masters and he's played great. He's pretty much the first Canadian of my if I would know. Obviously, Knutson would be more familiar with a lot of people, but for the younger crowd, it'd be Mike Weir.
Yip knows the Marion Golf Course. Back in 2006, he made it all the way to the semifinals in the U.S. Amateur before finally bowing out. He says he really likes the golf course.
It's a great design, honestly. It's a shame that the fairways aren't running because the bunkers would come into play because the fairway goes right into the bunker, so the balls could easily run in there. But now with it being a little bit soft, it's stopping, but hopefully as the week goes on, it dries out, that scenario will come into play.
Yip says Marion may be short, but don't let that fool you. He feels it'll be a stiff test for all golfers.
The course is starting to dry up. It's going to be a test for sure. It's not going to be what people think about 10, 15 under par. I think it's going to be single digits for sure. Par 4s, the long par 4s are playing really tough. So, I mean, even though there's a lot of short par 4s, there's the long ones will make up for it.
Ryan Yip wants to use the U.S. Open as a learning experience. Winning would be nice, of course, but he doesn't want to put any lofty goals on himself.
The goal is to just play well. I mean, as far as finishing top 10, top 25, it doesn't really matter to me. As long as I feel like I played well this week, that's what matters.
Jackie Yip is out in the first group tomorrow morning at 6:45 in the morning Eastern.
No pressure.
No pressure at all at the U.S. Open.
Straight ahead, we got Pets of the Week when we come back.